What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This is Life Outdoors, and today we are doing an 80,000 mile review on my 2021 Jeep Gladiator EcoDiesel. It's honestly insane to me that this is 80,000 miles. I swear I was just doing my first review of the Gladiator. It had fully stock tires, stock suspension, everything. And now here we are, 5 years later almost. 80,000 miles on this vehicle. I'm gonna run you through everything that's gone well, the things that haven't gone so well, some of the modifications that I've done to it, and just its overall performance in these 80,000 miles that it's gone through. So as of recent, I've been starting off with the good news on the Gladiator, but we're gonna switch that up real quick. Let's go to the bad news on the Gladiator. So a month ago, I started having a very weird check engine light popping up. It would pop up, it would throw a check def system, see dealer, all sorts of weird notifications on the dash, like 1,300 miles until engine stops running, and then it would disappear. Every time I scheduled it for a dealership appointment, check engine light would go away. They couldn't find any codes. Very frustrating. I finally got the engine light to come back on, drove straight to the dealership without an appointment. They ran the codes. We got an appointment set up. When they dug into the Jeep, I thought it was gonna be the DEF system had crystallized. I was sure it was gonna be the DEF system, needed replaced. That's fine, it's under warranty still. But it turns out there was a wiring harness that, I don't know if it corroded, but essentially one wire was broken in the port of the wiring harness and kept unplugging and plugging itself, throwing all sorts of communication issues throughout the entire vehicle. So I'll attach the video that the dealership sent me of the issue, but luckily warranty covered that repair. I have the HD electrical warranty on top of the Supreme warranty, so it was a covered repair. However, one of those frustrating things that you don't like to see, because I feel like mechanically I'm okay with, working on things and getting it into the shop and getting mechanical stuff done. But when it comes to electrical, that's where it gets a little scary. Never want to see electrical issues in a modern vehicle because nobody knows how to fix them other than the people that charge $1 million an hour to make those repairs. So while it was in the dealership, it did get that wire repair fixed up. I did get transmission fluid done. I got brake fluid done. And then they were gonna charge me $300 to do the fuel filter. I ended up just taking it back home, doing the fuel filter myself. Took me about 30 minutes, and it is a $48 part from Amazon. So I'll attach the link below for the Amazon fuel filter. It's a Mopar OEM filter. They just have it super cheap on Amazon for whatever reason. Fuel filter's right under here. I made a short on how I did that, and I'll link that right up here. If you want to go check out that short, save yourself $250 on a fuel filter change. And really, it's such an easy process. So those have been the couple downsides, just some expensive fluid changes and that repair that I thought was going to be worse, but ended up just being the wiring harness replacement. So now let's get to a few of the modifications that I've done and how they're holding up before we talk more about the truck itself. So as you can see, we've got some Nitto Ridge grapplers on the Anthem wheels here, and those are essentially brand new. Put them on at 80,000 miles. I've got 83,000 miles on the truck now. A little late with this review, but that was kind of my present to the truck. So I had the Toyo Open Country MTs on for about 50,000 miles before changing out for these Nitto Ridge grapplers. So honestly, could not have gotten better performance out of those mud terrains. Toyo makes a great tire. I've had the Ridge grapplers before on my Wrangler, loved them, low road noise, lasted 65,000 miles. Figured I'll just switch back and forth between kind of a all-terrain, mud terrain deal. So now we're in the Nitto realm, and you know, they drive great, they drive straight, easy to balance. They're a heavy tire, they're 10 ply, so you know, you can air them down pretty low and you're not really gonna notice much of a difference, but very happy with these tires. Still have the Anthem wheels that they are wrapped up around, and those Anthem wheels have been performing great. No issues. As you can see, I took that center hubcap out, still it's out. I just like the look of that with the little spider web pattern in there. Pretty cool wheel, and I've been enjoying those. Touching on the front bumper and the rear bumper, as well as the cargo rack, those are all kind of just, you know, not high quality upgrades that I've done throughout the years. They are starting to get some pretty serious paint issues. I'll probably be having to strip those off next summer, repaint them, and give them a fresh coat just to get some more life out of those, because they are starting to get a little flaking on the powder coating, as you can see, some rusting issues, and we just want to make those last as long as we can, because steel is steel. There's obviously different levels of quality, but we'll take what we can get with those bumpers for the time being. I've had no complaints other than a little bit of a rusting issue on them. Got the rooftop tent popped open, still performing super well. We did have a little bit of a mold issue in there. I didn't seal it up properly this winter, and we just had a wet winter in the PNW. That's just how it goes. So some mold in there, I was able to knock it down and knock it back, and I think that we're in a good spot with the rooftop tent. All in all, it's not too many complaints other than the mold issue. It's comfortable. I've been enjoying spending a bunch of nights up there, trying to get in that rooftop tent as much as possible. So definitely worth checking out. Don't know if they actually sell the Top B model anymore on Amazon, but there's the Nature Rest and other comparable models for sale still. Let's talk about the Rotopacks back here. I haven't used them a ton yet. Those are kind of just set up for big trips. So not really using those on the day-to-day, but I am about to leave for Montana. The Montana send is next week, which is crazy, but we are driving from Oregon to the Madison and Yellowstone rivers with a raft, a trailer, whole setup. Absolutely insane. Cannot wait for that trip. We'll be using the Rotopacks as we're bringing the motorcycle, which is the gasoline, bringing the truck, which is the diesel, and then there will be 3 of us. So going to be using 2 of the Rotopacks water systems and rotating those out. Cannot wait to share more from that trip with you guys. Should be a super fun excursion. And yeah, we just can't wait to get out there. So quick discussion on the interior of the vehicle, which I don't talk about very much. Overall, it's still in really solid condition. There's no cracking in the plastics. There's nothing too much of concern. It just gets dusty. I wipe it down every 10,000 miles or so, try and keep it as clean as possible. And that's that. I've had no real interior issues with the vehicle. No trim pieces falling off. I know that's sometimes a Jeep thing, but my interior has been solid, which I am very happy about. Still have a couple of the KC pod lights up front. Been enjoying those. Use them a little more than I did the KC light bar just because they're not as powerful. And as you guys saw, I changed my switch location with that Bluetooth panel, which Bluetooth panel has been performing great. Wish there was a way to hardwire it in. Now that I'm sitting with it, you know, it's like when I want to use it, sometimes the battery on the panel's dead and I got to plug it in anyway. So might as well just have it wired the whole time, in my opinion. Let's talk about fuel mileage. So I ended up doing that fuel treatment at 70,000 miles for the truck and ended up around like 24 to 25 miles to the gallon for a little while, which was awesome to see. Was super happy about that. As of recent, I've been doing a fuel treatment with each fill up now, one of those just like octane bump fuel treatments for diesel. And we're sitting around 22 to 23 miles to the gallon with the 3.0 EcoDiesel here. So still happy with those numbers. Not quite as high as I was hoping, given, you know, that bump that it got from that one fuel treatment. Overall though, still significantly better than the Wrangler I had. And I'm still loving the torque and the power of the EcoDiesel. After this recent fluid change and fuel filter change, I think it's really, you know, woken back up, got some fresh fluids in there, things are moving, and it's just got some good energy. So she's ready for this big road trip coming into Montana and ready to tow the raft trailer that I custom made over the last few weeks. If you guys are interested in checking out that raft trailer, link up here to the short I made on how I converted a utility trailer to a raft trailer. So go check that out, drop a comment. And like I said, you'll be seeing much more of that trailer in upcoming videos. So overall thoughts, I'm still super happy with the Jeep Gladiator in its current state. I did have that little check engine scare, hated to see that, but luckily ended up being nothing too serious and warranty still covered it. That is the second electrical issue I've had. I've had one unplugging issue with the AC unit and now this electrical harness issue. So a couple of concerning things to look out for there. Beyond that, there haven't been any serious repairs other than the bent pitman arm that I had, which was my fault. And then a couple of recalls, including the oil pump and the axle seals. So all in all, very happy with my Gladiator, still loving her. I can't believe that it's been 80,000 miles with her already. And I'm looking forward to getting to that 100,000 mile mark. So we have a little bit of work to do, but honestly, it feels like it's gonna happen probably in this next year. We'll hit 100,000 miles. So crazy to see. Susie's still doing good. I appreciate you guys following along on the channel. Let me know what questions you have in the comments, and I will catch you on the next one. Thanks so much. Peace.